Welcome in to Mailbox Sports. I am your host and your Joe Kim Noah Cleveland tour guide, because your boys in the land, as they call it, Postman 1914. No co-host tonight. We are flying the ship solo. Nonetheless, I do represent fully for the Chicago Bulls right here. We see red. It is actual play-in day. The Bulls are playing as we speak. The game is 43-30 in favor of the Miami Heat. Not playing much defense. Tyler Hero is on fire. But I do see some signs of life from Cody and Modest, as my boy Josh has been holding the team together thus far. So we will see exactly how it goes. Until we see that, we will go in to what is still a worthy and relevant conversation going into the second quarter here. Can the Bulls make a worthwhile playoff run that will satisfy the fans? Obviously, every fan level has a different expectation, and I mean that within a team and organization. Certain teams expect championships every year. Certain teams, I would think, just hope to be relevant. Certain teams just don't want to be bottom feeders, and some are actually hoping that they can be one of the worst teams so that they can qualify for the draft. If the Bulls lose in the play-in tournament as it goes to stand, they could potentially have a lottery pick in their midst. If they further advance, meaning win enough games to get into the 8th seed of the playoffs, they would pick no earlier than 16, I would believe. And so some fans would rather have the Bulls not win the play-in. Some would rather that the Bulls do something relevant to their eyes and pleasing while they're there. And so, as a fan myself, personally, I'm more interested in the scouting process, and I don't believe that there are enough opportunities. You know, we have a 1.7% chance of getting the first pick. If you win today, I would prefer you go ahead and make it further than this particular round, because you're not guaranteed any pick in the draft. And so if you're gonna get this far and keep doing this, then go ahead, move on to the next level, which is, at least for me, is to get into the actual playoffs, not the play-in. To end the season, the Bulls finished with a 16-4 record. 16-4 in their last 20. That's pretty damn good. Interestingly enough, for the third consecutive season, we're in the play-in game. Below 500, 38-43, 39-43, or something to that degree, I believe, is final record. And once again, I just won't cut it. Even in the West, you wouldn't have been anywhere near the play-in as the 9 and 10 seeds. The 10 seed is the only one sub 500. Everybody else is at least 10 games above. Nonetheless, finishing 16-4 in the last 20 is pretty good. And just to make matters worse, we talked about earlier the Bulls winning the first game as Niko Vucevic misses a 3. We have won the first game in the play-in 2 consecutive years and lost in the second round. So I need you to go further or do away with yourselves altogether, as it gives us the best opportunity draft-wise. And so I just think that in the last 2 years, you've lost the second game, I should say. How about go win that one and make yourself worthwhile in terms of getting some playoff exposure? Maybe you get actual playoff games if you can win. And so we are the 9th seed. We play against the Miami Heat tonight. As I said, right now, even more so, the Bulls are trailing 47-2. Boom. Let's see Modest again. 30. As we miss another shot. Cole offensively, 9 minutes left to go. But whoever wins this game will go on to face the Atlanta Hawks for the right to be the 8th seed. It's the Magic won yesterday. That would be covering what we classify as our hot case mail and I stand up talk for the Bulls. So let's get into the mail volume. Obviously, we face the daunting task of going ahead and winning 2 consecutive games. That just gives you the right to face the 1 seed and the overall seed in the East, which would be the Cleveland Cavaliers. And while I don't think that it gives you the best opportunity to beat the Cavaliers, power player, I think the next progression for us is to go ahead, get some exposure, win both of those games, and at least have the opportunity to play. As again, another 3 goals, and we are down 50-30. So I ask you, power player, if you had to rate the Bulls, would you prefer the Bulls, or I should say, what would you measure as a worthwhile playoff run for a team that's in a play-in? Got the 808. Is that a Baltimore? I'm trying to think of what 808 is right now. Don't hold me. We gonna figure it out. But nonetheless, we faced that with injuries to Ayo, Dosunmu, Lonzo Ball, still not playing, so we down. Yeah, the Ravens on that thing. Taylor Thornton ain't worth shit. Appreciate you pulling up. I love how that's what I say. We talked about football the other day. Do I get that high? You're not a Ravens fan? Ain't no Baltimore basketball team, is it? Who you cheer for if you live in Baltimore? And obviously you got the Discord. If you wanna if you got thoughts about it, even from the outside looking in, and want to pop in the Discord, feel free, and we can go ahead and chop it up for the last couple segments of what I got going on over here. You let me know. Otherwise, we keep talking about the injured players. Josh Giddey is injured, but he's playing. Still a 20-point game. Nonetheless, we get back to the opportunity that you should have a huge upset in the Eastern Conference if you go ahead and get some experience by, I say, winning 1 or 2 games against the number 1 seed, because nothing is expected of you. And without having Lonzo, which is critical to your veteran leadership and the veteran presence, Ayo gives you a bit more pop off the bench. I think for my team, we need every opportunity everybody that's a weapon. Right now we playing with, who is it? Taylor Thornton or some shit like that. I know he's THT from the crib, but I don't want you out there necessarily. And then Patrick Williams going to get a lot more exposure than he should, just because I don't really think he's a good player, and I think those frivolous signing. But Vooch needs to step up. Meanwhile, Modest is going to make me proud out here. And speaking of Modest, we're going to talk some priority mail. The Bulls have a talented young trio. Kobe White. God damn, he just missed that. Sorry. Kobe, Josh Giddey, and Modest Buzelis. My question, of those 3 players, who is the X factor that gets the team, I should say, into a more favorable spot moving forward in the playoffs or in the future? Who's the X factor? For me, it's easy to see the youngest one has the most potential, and he is the cheapest, and I think he has tremendous upside. So Modest is the X factor for me. If Modest can do half of what I think he's capable of doing right now, it allows Cody and Josh to continue to be as consistent as they have been thus far. And so, for me, if you want to have, he does. And I think the injury makes him a bit more
susceptible to not being as much of a factor as he could be. At the same time, Modest is so young. He's so like and one. If you could have just saw what Modest just did, like he young, so he naive and don't know no better. He got a little bit of professional experience. He lanky. He can shoot the ball from everywhere. His defense is still to come, but he is 19 years old, and so I expect Josh to I expect a lot out of Josh. Josh got 7 triple doubles this year. And so I think that his overall impact on the team is most important on the whole. Secondly, I would say that Kobe has to have that same consistent opportunity to get buckets because, quite frankly, he is the most gifted scorer on the team. And so, for me, you got to stop Mitchell from hitting these goddamn threes. Another one. They have 23. That's right. He did almost have a quadruple. And so, like you said, he played every facet of the game, and I like that about Josh. It gives the opportunity for Kobe to do a bit more on the score for me and score well. And so Modest has, while we're looking at him, Modest has like a Andrew Wiggins frame, kind of lanky, a bit athletic, don't care about going up on somebody, and it's gonna work out for you like in the coldest of ways. And so that kind of gives me the opportunity just to say that I think he has the most potential to be the X factor because his numbers can go up exponentially in the playoffs as opposed to what they have been in the regular season. While we're here, anybody who is, go ahead and make sure you hit the like button while we're in this joint. And then we're going to get into a little merch display. First merch display, we're going to call it 30 seconds as they call it in basketball over here. We get the rebound back down the court. We got a little merchandise popping up. Sooner than later, the channel going to get cracking. We're going to have more things moving. But for now, let's go ahead and get to it. Hockey, football, baseball, tennis, soccer, basketball. It's Mailbox Sports, baby. Patrick Williams for the 3. You're a bum and missed it. And now, timeout is over. Let's get back to it. Hey, all the sports. The shorts gonna have to start including some things that people don't even talk about. That'll be one day once I get a resolute following. Until I get to that point, we're gonna have to slow walk it, do things in a way that don't get me too over the top. But we gonna branch out and talk about all sports because there are other things or other aspects of sport that I might want to talk about that even I don't understand myself, but we're going to get to learn along the way from people who have a better foothold on it. In the meantime, in between time, like, share, subscribe. Get that right there, that good yawn. That was the yawn pause right there. We had to give y'all one of those. It's been one of those days. We are doing route reviews again. For those who don't know, I am a United States postal worker. Sometimes they want to come in and try to tell you that you don't walk enough and do enough already. We've been at it all day, and we're gonna try to attack that as much as we want Josh, Kobe, and Modest, and Nico and everybody else to get after it. Because right now nobody's doing it. 33 points is not gonna cut it, and you will be going home tonight. Nonetheless, I think that Modest being so naive and green in this aspect gives us the best opportunity for him to be an X factor. And I desperately would hope that a person like Josh continues to flirt with quadruple doubles, continues to be the de facto leader. Kobe, I want you to keep going berserk, not thinking about anything, going totally unconscious about points right now. Nobody's doing the things that I'm speaking of, and so I wanted to kind of carry over. Maybe the halftime adjustments will help out, and along with those adjustments, pep talk, or however you look at it. I think it obviously we know where it comes from. The head coaching matchup, especially tonight, is an integral matchup in the sense that this guy got skins on the wall in terms of Spo having actual championships. Nothing to talk about when he got multiple NBA championships. Whereas Billy Donovan, Hall of Fame, newly ordained Hall of Fame coach Billy Donovan. You got national championships in college. You got immense playoff success with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Highly competitive, even as a player himself in the NBA. The next half, i.e., next 24 minutes, not to mention moving forward, if you're able to do so, the words and the instruction that he gives is most critical to the success that I think the Bulls get to have today, maybe Friday if they are lucky enough to advance, and moving forward into the future in terms of what those three players and others may give you. Because again, they are out here letting certain players like Davion Mitchell, I believe is his name. Who? Who's that? Don't know, but he's dropping them. And right now, 60-37 to Helenism is the score. 60-37. If nobody was here, hit the like button. And as you do not know, to Helenism, I told Raquel last time I was going to get myself in this lab and get me some of this good old merchandise together. So if you will, we're going to check out the first original that I get to make out. They are blowing our ass out. But there we go. We mailboxing it all the way. I'm going to get me some dummies like Mr. Walker. He got 95 million. We're going to get all of them together. How you feeling anyway, to Helenism? Welcome in. We are finishing up a few things in terms of my Chicago Bulls. If you see my shirt right now, we see in red. The Bulls are playing a live playoff game right now. And if you ask me, it does not feel like they playing for real. Because they are getting their asses handed to them 62-39. It's kind of scary. I don't know what to say about it. The things that we get to talk about most importantly right now, because the players got to perform, but hopefully my coach gets to make some adjustments. Will Billy Donovan do so? And to Helenism, my question for you is, do you watch NBA basketball? Let's talk about that. Now, chart. So you do some therapy out here, huh? Only people I know that take a break and do some charting before they drive home. Do some progress notes and all other type of stuff, billable things. I know more. I don't watch basketball as much as I used to. I'm more so a follower of basketball. I figured it was something healthcare wise when we doing caseloads and charting. Before I got into this wonderful thing called delivering the mail, while I never did anything in anyone's home, I was a certified therapeutic recreation specialist, if y'all want to know. Or a rec therapist, or, something less flattering in other circles. Nonetheless, I watch football a lot more than basketball. Same time, my team, as Power Player said, we showed a lot of promise at the end of the season. They are 16-4 in the last 20 games. And while this game right here is not showing as much razzle-dazzle, they show me some flash every now and again here. And it gives me the opportunity to say that they still have a chance to make a deep run. And by a deep run for this play-in team, I mean win a game or two. But I assure you, if they keep letting Tyler Hero shoot like this, won't be no second games. We can get rid of that. moving forward to this coach. Every week, I want to be able to. Every time to healingism, I'm gonna figure some things out in my life. I watched my entire episode last week. Well, my cousin is an OT, so he does occupational therapy. Mine, while preserving core muscle strength and endurance and things like that, if we were to utilize physical activities, the opportunity to promote optimal wellness in like every area, cognition, your physical, your emotional, your social, and your spiritual. Those pre-morbid leisure activities give you an opportunity to see things from all angles. And then when I send you to a PT or OT, if there are particular core or any endurance type things, those are opportunities for them to capitalize on based on my interactions with them. But in terms of the actual overall, I might have goals for them after they would be released from physical therapy or, having admitted diagnoses. Whereas, cuz it's going to work with them from, training their muscles back to walking status all the way back. You know what the OT is about, transferring and everything. Things that I wouldn't have dealt with. Nonetheless, I get to be a therapist of sorts in the streets. You get to spread various experiences that are not just your lived experiences and have people see things with a different viewpoint so that if it works in their favor, it's not seen as something that you pushing off your own impressions. It's an experience that most people may have had, and you just never had the opportunity to know other people that shared that experience. I think when we talk about stuff like that, a channel me into hedonism watch a lot. SBC, Nason, and Cart Before the Horse and Sing About Choices. The experiences that they have had in life give me the backdrop that I know I've experienced those things, but not nearly in a up close and impersonal type of way at all facets. With that being said, we get back into giving a stamp of approval to the same coach who I hope this stamp of approval motivates tonight. One coach, Billy Donovan. Last week, Billy got a salute from us, and that salute was in the form of acknowledging that he was the right coach moving forward to carry the Bulls into the future, given they have other players to add to the team to give him more talent. However, the stamp of approval and I would say the first class stamp of approval will go to Billy, because Billy is the second Hall of Fame coach to be a coach currently in my lifetime for the Chicago Bulls. First being Phil Jackson, second being Mr. Billy Donovan. I know he's getting that acknowledgement for every stop he got before he got here. Nonetheless, you don the red and black right now. You see red, you bleed red. And for that reason and that reason alone, you represent the Bulls and you represent Hall of Fame. So let's hope, as I say, that we can leave you with this ultimate conclusion and ultimate question. What could be, what is, and what would be moving forward a successful season for the Chicago Bulls, as yet again we have arrived at such a familiar point at this time of the year. A play-in game that sees a guy like Tyler Hero have 23 points, 8 for 8, 4 for 4 from free throw line, 3 for 3 threes, 23 points. He ain't missed from anywhere. That won't get you any level of success or progression into the next round or the second half. You'll be sitting people, resting them so they don't get hurt. They're getting a natural born bottoms handed to them right now, and I have no explanation or understanding as to why. You came out a little tight. So either you're going to lay down like Atlanta did for the rest of the game and never rebound from it, or will you find a way to sustain some momentum, rally, hacking? This nigga jacking every shot up he can. And I just hope that Billy, Mr. Got all the answers. I hope you figure out a real solution to go ahead and stop him. Nonetheless, 808, anybody else who might hear me and will hear me, if you are interested, Thursday, I am having a stream, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday. I'm banking on it being Thursday so it can be live and not more predictions, but more actual reaction to the NFL draft. Thursday night, I'm having a panel. I will hope that I can get a representative from a few different teams and team fans, I should say. And if that would work, I would really, really, really hope to see anybody that would like to go right ahead and email me at mailboxsports@yahoo.com. If you are in my Discord, feel free to hit me there. If I know you from the Twitter, you can give me a message. And anybody else who has any contact information for me otherwise, can feel free to do so. Let me know ahead of time so that we can go through some formalities and what have you. Get our creative juices flowing and get ready to see new additions to our teams moving forward. It is clock out time, and I do want to see that we have everybody comment in the comment section, no less. Like the content, subscribe to my page, tell other persons that if you're not a sports person and you know people who enjoy talking sports, I do focus content on Chicago sports because I'm a Chicagoan. However, there is no particular sports topic or region that we will not touch if in fact we have the capacity or the persons that want to talk about it. So once again, got a topic you want to discuss, you go ahead and hit that email. Topics, criticisms, things you think we can do to improve, all things are fair game. I will try to see that we respond to those as best we can. Also, I want to thank you personally, everybody who tuned in, has tuned in, will tune in, and continues to tune in and support the channel. It is taking on slow growth, but that growth is way more appreciated than no growth. So appreciate you pulling up and hanging out with your boy for a little while tonight. Share the content with your friends. Thank you for tuning in. It's 00 on the clock for us today. And so I want to go ahead, thank anybody who chimed in. We are going to try to get to you next week, draft day. Anybody who has questions, comments, or concerns about that, let me know. I will stop my ramble. We will move along, and we are out.